Hi, welcome to the Weekends Over podcast. I'm your host, Alex, here with Max. Max, say hello.
What's up, everybody? Let's get into this stuff.
That's right. And then we got Taylor. Taylor's going to go ahead and give us an update on our picks from last week. So, Taylor, go ahead and take it away for us.
How's everybody doing? So, one weekend. This is a year-long competition for us. And we keep them separate now, college and NFL. Pretty close all around. Alex, college this week went 5-5 in his picks. I
Not
also
bad.
went. Yeah, it's not bad at all. I also went 5-5.
Not bad.
Man,
Not bad, brother.
Ole Miss screwed me, but that's a different discussion.
Well, we both told you.
I know. And Max won the week, actually. So far, he's in the lead at 6-4. Good week for him.
I know ball.
And funny enough, NFL-wise, we're all through 7-6 right now.
Not
And
bad at all.
we all three have three different outcomes in this Bills and Jets game. So there is a slight
I don't even
scenario.
remember who I took. I don't remember.
You took Jets money line. I took Bills to cover, and Alex took Jets to cover.
It's looking good for me right now.
So it's 2.5. So if you see us commenting on it, we're watching that. So, yep, that's how we're doing so far. Betting wise, not losing money on any of those. Actually won some money if we bet all those things. So far so good, Alex.
We bet all of them. Trust me. Every bet we say on here, we bet.
Yes, I put my house on each and every one of them, and I still have it because I went even. Taylor, how about the sneaky picks for last week? Tell us how we did on those.
Alex, you went 2-0 on your sneaky picks.
2-0. I think I actually went 2-1 because I added in a late one.
Did you add a late one in?
Yeah, I think I added in the Iowa under, and Iowa covered the under by themselves. But I think that didn't really count because my other two hit. So that's right.
And then me and Max both went 1-1 on our sneakies. So
I'll take it.
So just
locks. Taylor did not get the Boise cover, so I did not hit my lock this week. Sorry about that, everybody. Max,
your boy did.
No, you didn't.
Oh my lock. I'm thinking about my sneaky.
Penn State. Max had Penn State minus 5.5 locked, which I think in Max's defense by game time, because we record that on. By the time we had got it at game time, I think you could have got that line at minus 2.5. So, yeah. So Alex would have been 2-0, but he added in a late one and it did not hit. Sorry about that, brother.
No. The lock of the week. I hit my lock of the week.
I'm sorry. Alex did hit his lock of the week. I'm sorry. I was thinking about his sneaky picks. So my bad, guys. Yep.
We're all mixed up here, guys.
Sorry about that.
Shout out to Genty for covering for me. I had the Boise State cover, and it was 20.5, and they won 28-7. So I believe that makes 21 points, and that's all we needed right there. So those are our bets. I really do think that if you were to take a look at all of them, and if you kind of combine the ones that you liked from ours and the ones that you didn't like, I think you would have been pretty good off. Yeah, Taylor?
Me and you took the same lock, and I did hit because I changed mine to Boise State cover afterwards. Not on the pod, though.
How are you going to change it off the pod?
I'm kidding.
I was gonna say.
Kidding. I'm fucking with you. I actually changed all my picks and went. I actually changed all my picks and went 10 now.
Yeah.
I was fucking with you.
Next slap.
Yeah, I was about to say, what are you talking about? So the first segment we're going to kind of get into is the weekend review. So we're all going to take about two things that we brought from this weekend in football and talk about what we think the most important are. So I'm going to go ahead and start it off. And the first thing that I want to talk about is what I was talking about last week is Lane Kiffin. What did I say? I said Lane Kiffin is going to LSU. That's right, Taylor. Listen up. I said he's going to LSU and he is losing. I called it from the start. And guess what? I'm going to go ahead and tell you, talked about it last week. He will be the head coach of Florida. It's just simple. I didn't like how Jackson Dart was playing this year. I did not like how their defense was playing. Excuse me, not their defense. My bad. I meant their offensive line. I did not like how their offense. Yeah, their defense is fine. I was talking about their offensive line, and it kind of showed at the end, especially Jackson Dart. He did not look good, especially in the fourth quarter and overtime, he should have threw 2 picks easy that could have ended the game even earlier. But the main thing for me about Lane Kiffin is his inability to win the big games. He just never has been able to do it. He flies by on the edge of his seat every single year. And then eventually every year he plays the team that just knocks him out every single time. I have a stat right here. And then for Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss, he is 3-15 versus top 10 teams. I don't think LSU was top 10 last week, or they might have been close, but it doesn't matter. If your record is 3-15 versus top 10 teams, especially in the SEC West, you're just not going to be able to cover. You're not going to be able to win. You're not going to be able to stay a head coach on a team. I know Ole Miss hasn't really been a national championship team, but they want to be, and you're not going to be able to do that with them. Do you have any thoughts on that right there?
I mean, I do.
Go ahead.
I don't really know if I'd blame Lane Kiffin for why they lost. Lane Kiffin didn't miss 2 field goals, and they should have been up 20, probably 20. I'll give them. They were in the red zone 3 times with 0 points, so they should have been up 17-0. But credit to LSU. I mean, Nussmeier.
He was balling.
I guess he didn't really look that great. They dropped a lot of picks.
At the end, he started throwing some dimes.
No, I mean, yeah, and credit to him. I mean, 2 4th down conversions on the final drive, and then whatever that attempted coverage was in the overtime. I mean, dude just fell down.
You know what, Taylor? Hold on a second. I'm going to just come after you real quick. You know who I blame? I blame your Heisman favorite, Jackson Dart. Scrub Boy McGee. That's who I blame.
I had Jinty first. He was second.
You were over there saying my dark horse. I want y'all to look at him.
Glazing them up.
Dark horse and favorite are 2 different things.
All I know is after last week, your throat's probably sore from talking about him. But that's a whole different topic. Max, you have anything else to say
about Ole Miss LSU?
Yeah. Or about Taylor?
I don't know. I mean, I thought Ole Miss probably should have won. I think they're probably a better team, but it's hard to go play in Death Valley, and you saw videos and stuff. It was rocking.
Yeah.
And Taylor's gay, so.
Taylor, can you confirm or deny these allegations?
Well, if I deny him, that means I'm gay, even gayer, correct? Because it's 2024.
Well, snap my fingers. You'll forget you were ever gay.
No, I don't have anything else to add. LSU win. I mean, it's not like I lost sleep over it.
Yeah, I mean, also, like Max made a great point. Tiger, I mean, Death Valley, night game.
Hard, man. It's hard.
We're going there later in the season. It's already scary.
I'm scared already. Yep.
Mm-hmm. My second thing I need to talk about, and it is Oregon. So last week, I can't confirm or deny if I was hating on Dan Lanning. I really don't remember, but
you were.
You hated on him pretty hard.
Yeah, I think I said he lacked girth in one of my statements, and
you did say he was non-girth.
I will apologize to Mr. Lanning. He is girthy.
He's got links too.
Yeah, he's got it all, and that might have just been me being salty about him just refusing Alabama. I mean, we got a great coach anyway, but that did leave a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth. But Oregon, I apologize. I was not familiar with your game. I assumed Ohio State would run it down y'all's throat and kind of just take it from y'all. But y'all look very good. Your defense played well. Your offense played well. Y'all kind of got bailed out by the refs a little bit at the end, but also Will Howard's actually very stupid, and he slid down on the last play of the game. I saw my king LeBron James tweet about it, and I'm with you, LeBron. He's very stupid for that. But
and yes. What I say last week? I said if it comes down to a last drive, I don't trust Will Howard. And what it come down to, and what he do?
He went down.
He fell down. He slid.
Quit. Well, he's like, well, we lost. I don't know what he's doing.
That is one thing I will say, Max. You nailed that game on the head, actually.
Yeah,
so,
respect.
especially, I was kind of arguing about him playing at Kansas State, so he has played in big games. But You nailed it. He definitely made some mistakes at the end. But Taylor, do you have anything to add about that game?
I mean, I wish I'd have taken Oregon, but yeah,
Same.
I could tell early on that I had messed up in taking Ohio State because it is. Oregon did not start out great, but Ohio State didn't take advantage. Same thing Ole Miss didn't do with LSU, really. And
Yeah,
when you're
definitely.
when you're on the road, you got to stomp somebody on the throat pretty early.
Very, very similar games, like as a
And I
far
was
game, like
watching
on the
them.
road.
But that's all I got on that, man.
Okay, well, actually, we're gonna go to you, Taylor. What are your takeaways? Your two takeaways from this past weekend of football?
So I'm gonna save a more obvious one for last, but my first one, it's about Vandy, but it's more about parity in the SEC in general. And
Mm-hmm.
this is also something that Max can talk about later when we talk about Alabama. But man, I watched the last couple of weeks. I watched Missouri and Texas A&M last week. The league's getting that NFL vibe where you want to be the home team. If you're not the
Yeah.
home team and you're not way better than the other team, you might lose. A la Ole Miss LSU. Because I think in Ole Miss LSU wins that. I mean Ole Miss wins that. Sorry, in a neutral side, I think Ole Miss wins it. But Death Valley is hard to play at. Now, on a completely unrelated note, the home team thing, Vandy going to Kentucky, not even playing that great, and just kind of easily winning 20-13. I don't even think that score did it justice. I mean, I didn't really think Kentucky was going to win. Kentucky's in trouble. They got to play at Florida this week. Watch out for that. Kentucky's offense is terrible. Their defense is very good. But I mean, shout out to Vandy and that quarterback they got, man. He's the truth. And I'm very scared when we play them. Um, so my last point,
Well, firstly,
and
let me kind of jump in
oh
and
yeah, I'm sorry,
add
I'm not
on
a
to
good
that.
host. But if anybody wants to add on, sorry guys.
Shut up.
I think a lot of us, I think all three of us picked against Vandy last week, right?
No.
Yes. Yes.
I know I did. I know Max
I did.
did.
Everybody picked Kentucky.
Oh, well, I
To
picked
cover.
Kentucky. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, Vandy didn't have a good game, and I said like they weren't going to be able to play that good, but apparently they don't have to. Apparently they're just a good team. So I really thought Kentucky, especially at home, would be able to win that game, and I really thought that their defense doesn't struggle with what Alabama struggled with, which was the lanes and closing that space between it and getting to the quarterback quicker or the running back quicker. But apparently, Vandy does not.
I
Yeah,
think it was. I think it was more like Taylor said. Kentucky's offense is terrible. I mean, they couldn't do anything. And once Vandy gets on top of you and they can start running that clock, you're in trouble. And especially if you're not explosive and can go score real quick and try to get extra possessions. But
what's the Kentucky's quarterback name? Georgia transfer.
Vandergriff.
Vandergriff.
He had high expectations this coming into this season, and one thing I'll say, we're halfway through the college football season right now. How sad is that? But as far as the regular season goes, but Vandergriff, he had some flashes when he was playing against Ole Miss where he actually I was like, okay, there's a reason he was at Georgia, but for all the other times that I've seen him, yeah, he has not been impressive. I don't know how much that speaks to him as a quarterback or the lack of weapons or around him at Kentucky, but that's
Ole
all I
Miss.
have.
Ole Miss's secondary is probably also not so good to judge on. Their secondary is terrible. Their defensive line good, but anybody else got anything on Vandy and the fighting Pavias? Is that
No,
what we
go
call them?
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So, and I'm kind of coming at Alex here on this one. Texas, my last take is Texas is the best team in the country. I mean, absolutely played with their food in a rivalry game, which Alex told me meant it was going to be close. This was like when you played like like football at Thanksgiving with like your little cousin, and you just you make sure you win so he does shut up, but you don't like run over him, and you don't. There was no point in this game where I think Texas ever had to take this game seriously. It just was not close. Oklahoma's offense might be worse than Kentucky's, and I just talked about how bad Kentucky's offense is. I think we will learn, and I'm going to toss this to y'all to talk about, but I think we'll learn. I have them as the best team in the country right now, but we will learn this weekend probably whether they are or not. Is anybody else got anything to add on Texas?
That's what we'll learn. We'll learn this weekend. That's my objection. Yes, I ranked them number 1 so far right now. Until this weekend, we'll find out because, yeah, they've looked good, but their 2 best wins are against teams that can't throw the football. So that's not hard to beat. When the other team can't throw the ball forward, it makes it a whole lot easier. Georgia can throw it. We'll find out this weekend, though.
One thing I would like to add to that is, you know what? You pick some, you say some stuff, and sometimes you're just wrong. And
not me.
Yeah, not Max, but I took a lot of bold statements last week, and I'll take it on the chin. I'll admit I was wrong about a lot of them. And especially about Quinn Ewers in Texas and Oklahoma being able to cover. I really didn't think about the fact how bad Oklahoma's offense was, and I did kind of just glaze over the spot that they were missing a bunch of wide receivers. And I thought they might be able to do something, Red River Rivalry, a lot of historical games, a lot of great games, and that last one was not one of them. They, like you said, Taylor, Texas just owned them the whole entire time. But that's all I have. There's a lot of me going back on statements this week and saying I don't know ball, but that's okay. I'll know ball this week. Y'all will see. I'll prove them wrong. All right, Max, go ahead and go to your 2 takeaways of this weekend.
I'm just going to talk about Alabama a little bit. That game had me almost wrecking while I was driving back from Troy Saturday. Yes, South Carolina has a great defensive line, but Alabama struggles again, and they don't look. Really, the offense struggled. That was really the most disappointing thing is how much the offense struggled. The defense did struggle later on in the game, but overall, I think the defense made enough plays to win the game, but the offense weren't in rhythm. Jalen didn't have a good game. He was off. He wasn't in rhythm very well, and he didn't look very explosive as he usually does, but we'll find out this weekend if Alabama's any good or not. And the second take is this Penn State and USC. That was a really good game. It's kind of back and forth. USC went up early. Penn State came back. Drew Aller threw 2 early interceptions that looked just absolutely dumb. I guess the coach went over there and slapped him on the neck because then late in the game he turned up and came in clutch. Had 2 long 4th down conversions that he made. And Penn State's a real contender in the Big Ten. So it's Oregon, Ohio State, Penn State. That's your 3 teams in the Big Ten. We'll see who wins it out.
I would like to jump in and go back to Alabama for a second. Something is going on with our team, and it's really strange to see because it's not like we don't have the talent. We all saw how we played against Georgia, and hopefully it is just we're kind of just in a slump right now. But if we don't wake up this weekend, season's over. We don't have enough tough games to play that will get us back in the college football playoff conversation. I don't think. Maybe.
Go ahead.
If LSU wins out, then yeah, and if Andy helps us out and has a good season, then yeah. But I think it'd be really close, and it'd be in a spot I wouldn't want to be in. It'd be in an 11-10 area that if we were to make it. But
that's the thing that I'm saying is if we this game.
It's huge.
I don't think necessarily it's a must win, but I think it's huge.
It's a must that we can't get killed.
If we
play like we have been, we might get killed. But I will say, obviously, Tennessee's been playing bad too.
So I think both teams are kind of going into this one, their ass is a little tight,
Yeah.
What kind of pussy move was Billy Napier with the not going for 2? And instead of kicking the extra point, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? I get it. LSU didn't either, but they're at home. and they have playoff aspirations. Dude, you're trying to save your fucking job and you need to win to beat
You get
Tennessee.
that win, yeah.
You go get the win because you're probably not going to win in overtime. That's so fucking soft. Billy Napier, you're soft as shit. Sorry.
You don't have to say that.
He's
getting fired, so.
Yeah, I mean, but yep. I mean, all those takes. Any other things we want to discuss, or we're gonna go into our next segment, guys?
I don't have anything on Alabama. I'll know everything this week on Alabama and Tennessee. That's
Okay.
all right. I'm in on that.
All right. So now we're gonna go into our next segment, and you kind of heard me discuss some of mine already, but these are gonna be our cold takes of last week. So this is just gonna be us owning up to what we said last week, and maybe providing some thoughts, some clarity for y'all who heard us say some maybe foolish, maybe not very smart, maybe just being idiots. Taylor, you're up first, buddy. What do you have to say about Dylan Gabriel?
Dylan Gabriel, I was unfamiliar with your games. He proved me wrong. I didn't think he could win a big game. Now, maybe it shouldn't count because he was playing Will Howard, but besides the point, I mean, no, he got me. He played a great game. He really did actually look like who they brought him in to be for the first time this year. So I can't really, I can't say anything. He got me.
Taylor,
He missed some.
I want you to say 3 words, okay? I was wrong.
I was kind of not right.
That's also acceptable. I'll go ahead and get into mine. I already mentioned it earlier. Texas, Quinn Ewers, I apologize. I was really confident in Oklahoma, and when you really come down and think about it, it doesn't make much sense for why I was confident in them. Maybe I want to be edgy. Maybe I'm just that guy. Yeah, maybe I was edging a little bit. But I will no longer edge to Oklahoma. I will only be a part of Texas. And I think you will hear me the rest of this year give you all the respect you deserve, and especially Quinn Ewers. You played well. Archie Manning is waiting behind you, but maybe look behind your shoulder a couple times because he's right there. But and now we have Max. Max, we're in a kind of a difficult spot for you here because I mean you were wrong about games, but I don't really think you said.
I got one. I got one.
Okay.
We kind of already talked about it earlier, but Kentucky. We all chose Kentucky to cover, and they got whooped. Not by scoreboard wise, but they got out physical and got ran all over like Vandy's been doing. I was wrong about that. I'm a Vandy's my daddy. Kind of guy now.
Yeah, I think us as the Bama fans, we kind of have to really reflect on that. And realize.
I mean, Vandy, that's fine with me as long as we own Georgia. We own Georgia and Auburn, and Vandy can own us. That's fine.
Yeah, if Vandy owns us, that's okay.
Vandy can be the ultimate daddy.
Yeah, I'm down with it. All right, guys. So now we're gonna kind of just shuffle into our Heisman odds. Everything's updated. We do have a couple of things that we want to go into about the new ones. Max, Heisman odds. So now we have Milroe at plus 1,000. Genty at plus 175, Travis Hunter all the way down to plus 2,500. Who do you kind of feel that is one of the is the just head of it, and then who do you think had the biggest fall off?
I think it's pretty. I don't know. It's not obvious. I think Genty's clear front runner right now. I wonder why Travis fell so much.
He got hurt.
He got hurt.
Did he get hurt?
Yeah.
How bad?
He only played 2 quarters. I don't know if they've said anything about this week.
His stats were bad in the 2 quarters already, too.
Okay, well.
I'll try to find
I guess he had statistically the most drop off, but I think Milroe, he hasn't looked good. You know, there was after the Georgia game, it was like, oh shit, he might be able to go win this thing. Mm-hmm. But hasn't played good. He didn't play bad against Vanderbilt, actually, just didn't get the possessions. But against South Carolina, he wasn't very good.
He some of those throws, I mean, he doesn't have the zip on the ball that he seemed to have against Georgia. A lot of those were floated in, especially that last interception that he threw in the end zone. I mean, if he just throws it harder, it's a touchdown. But he floated it in there. I do understand South Carolina's getting some pressure on him, so kind of makes you throw off your back foot. And when you throw off your back foot, it makes the ball float a little bit more than you're used to. But it almost seemed like he wasn't as confident, which isn't good. We need Milroe playing confident. We need Milroe from Georgia just slinging it and not really caring. Because I mean, he has a great deep ball, and if he loses that, then that's not good for us. Because we are a team that needs big plays, and we need those plays to at least be a threat. If teams aren't scared of that anymore, they can stack the box, and we're already struggling with running the ball besides Milroe, so that would not be a good thing for us.
The first one was way worse than the second one. The one right before half. Like, why are you even throwing that? Why are you even throwing that route? You know, in high school, you know, and I'm not trying to be mean here, but in high school, they don't give the quarterback that option for that route. They just run 4 verts. But you kind of think in college you can trust to have a decoy drag route to keep that safety down so you can have a shot at the deep ball. And he threw. I was watching this with Parker. What happens if he catches it? He doesn't even get out of bounds. It's not like he's wide open. Just stupid. No reward, all risk. Throw it deep. Who cares if you throw a pick in the end zone?
That was what I was a little bit disappointed with, you know, and later in the game they stopped taking shots down the with one-on-one cut. Like, they stopped taking shots. Like, you know, when our offense, we're going to have to do that. That's what we did against Georgia with Ryan Williams. We need it. You know, if you throw a pick on a 50-50 ball downfield, that's okay. But like, not a cross and drag route where the guy almost takes you to the house with no time remaining in that before half, you know.
Yeah.
We just didn't throw any of those, you know, 50-50 balls up to Bernard, or, you know, I think Jeremy Bernard is really, you know, underrated. He's very good. He's a very good route runner and has good hands. And but also, you know, if right before he catches that touchdown at the end, if he just falls down, we win the game, no problem. Mm-hmm. It's what was the score, 20-19, with under 2 minutes left.
It would have been a 2-minute warning, I believe.
Yeah, it would have been. They had no timeouts left. It would have been game over.
Taylor, what do you think about these Heisman odds? Who do you like right now, and who are you disappointed in? Jackson Dart.
Yeah. So, I mean, minors. Genty's still the front runner. I do worry. I do hope that they don't use Boise State against him. I just, you know, sometimes I sit there and go, are they really going to give a Heisman to the running back from Boise State? Like, I don't know. We'll see. But to me, he's still the front runner, and the odds show it. Yeah, Jackson Dart had. Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm jumping real quick. With his stats, if he keeps up these stats, you can't ignore him. The stats are, if you go out and beat Barry Sanders' record, then I mean, it's impossible to not.
I agree. So. Have you seen his over-unders for like his like rushing, like what they set him at?
Like I was talking to my buddy. Yeah, and all the touchdowns and the yards.
He was plus 6,600 to score a touchdown this week. His over-under, because I had a buddy with me and he's like, guess it. And I guessed, it's probably at 150. And that's a lot. He said, no, it was 190. His over-under is 190. And he hit the over, by the way. He's ridiculous. Jackson Dart, real quick. We talked about him enough. He's the big fall off. His Heisman campaign's over. I guess unless they win out. But
they beat Georgia.
Well, they got to win out. They can't lose again. And I don't even know. There's a scenario where them beating Georgia is not enough if Georgia ends up being a 3-loss team.
Yeah.
And their best win is 3-loss Georgia because their non-con schedule was terrible. But yeah, Jackson Dart fell off. But that's my two, Alex.
I mean, one that we haven't really talked about. Dylan Gabriel. Hello, Mister. Plus 320 looked really good. So I like him. I mean, he's looked better. I know last week we kind of gave him like, why is he up there? They knew something that we didn't. Dylan Gabriel plus 320, not a bad bet. One that I like right now is Quinn Ewers still plus 2,200. He's about to be back in it. He's about to start playing some bigger games, especially this week going up against Georgia. He has a big game, throws for a lot of yards. I wouldn't be surprised if he's number 2, number 3. I don't think Genty will go down from number 1, but I could see a big jump. So I think that'd be, if you wanted to get any money right now on anyone, Ewers looks good. Also, this could be because I'm a Bama fan, but Milroe, we still have time. We still have time. If he puts up the stats that he was at the beginning of the year, 2 touchdown runs, 2 touchdown passes a game, then we'll be fine. He'll be fine.
He can't keep throwing picks.
Yeah, he can't. He definitely can't do that. Can't keep doing that. Also, Mr. Stinky, Cam Ward plus 800. He is still there. Like we said before, he either looks the best or he looks the worst. Still, he has a lot of games left, and he can stack up some stats against some of these bad ACC teams. But that's all I have. We're gonna go into our updated playoff top 12. So, how we're gonna do this week is we are going to just list off our 12 and tell each other what changed from last week. I'm gonna go ahead and start it off being number one right here. So last week I had Texas number one. I still have them number one. Now I have Oregon number two. That is a change from Ohio State being number two. I still have Clemson 3, Iowa State 4. That has not changed. And now instead I have Ohio State at number 5, so it dropped from 2 to 5. Then I have Penn State at number 6. So Penn State last week was number 5. And now I have Miami still at 7. I have BYU, the Jokers. They have moved up to number 8. Now I have Georgia all the way down to number 9. Close game against Mississippi State that did not look good at home too. That was weird. Notre Dame at number 10. Lastly, I have Alabama sliding in at number 11 after a horrible game against South Carolina. We're still in there. I will say an Alabama versus Penn State game would be very fun, us going to Happy Valley. And then last, number 12, I'm going to show some love. I'm going to swap it up. No longer Boise State. Boise State will not be able to stay in if Army wins out. Army number 12. Let's go.
Have you seen the thing where, because of how the Army Navy game works, if they both were undefeated and they're both in the same conference, the American Conference, they would actually have to play the championship game first and then go play
and then
go play the Army Navy
back weeks.
But it wouldn't be like the traditional play the regular season game and play the conference championship game. They play the conference championship game first and then play their last regular season game, because of the Army Navy game set at a certain date, and it's before the American Championship game.
It sounds like it would be a whole lot of fun, and I'd be down for like a rematch. Going like run it back real quick. What happens if like Army were to win and then Navy wins the next one? You're like,
they cancel each other out.
That's 2 out of 3. Got to run one more. Y'all have any thoughts about mine, or do y'all just want to go ahead and go into yours, and we'll just have a big discussion after?
Yeah, we can just do that.
Okay, Taylor, go ahead.
Mine changed a little bit actually, but my top 4, the only thing I changed was Ohio State got dropped out. So it's Texas at 1, Oregon 2, Clemson 3, and Iowa State 4, of course. I moved Ohio State. I have not punished them yet. I moved them to 5. I think they're going to win out. So I think that's going to be.
We have the same top 5 right now.
Mm-hmm. Now this is where we're going to be different. I still have Georgia at 6. I mean, they're playing Texas this week, and they have Mississippi State before, and they just weren't. I don't think they were ever going to lose. It's just it's hard to get up for a game like that when you're playing Mississippi State. You just would rather be at Texas week. I got Penn State 7. They look good. I have Miami 8. I moved them up just because a certain Ole Miss was, I think, 8 for me, and they lost. I moved Texas A&M up to 9th. I really like Texas A&M. I think Texas A&M Texas could be big stakes, and that's awesome. I have LSU 10. I'm going to give them credit this week for their win. I don't know how much longevity, because, man, Nussmeier refuses to run the ball when he just throws it in double coverage instead of running for a first down. He's like the anti-Bo Nix.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, it really is, and I love Bo. Number 11, and this one was hard for me because I still hadn't picked, and this might give away of who I'm picking. I have Alabama at 11. It was between them and Tennessee, and I think that's going to give away who I'm picking this week. Man, if Tennessee wouldn't look so god awful, they have not scored in SEC play like they were scoring out. So I moved them out. Bama 11, and then I have Boise State still at 12. BYU just on the cusp.
One thing I want to add in really quickly, y'all know that Spider-Man meme where it's like Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man? I'm gonna let you know who that is in real life in college football. That is Tennessee and Ole Miss looking at each other. They're the same team. Just gonna give y'all a heads up. Yeah, Max. Oh wait, you said Boise State at 12, right?
I have Boise State still at 12.
Understandable. One thing I did just realize about mine is I said Army's going undefeated, and then I still had Notre Dame at 10. Army would have to beat Notre Dame, and that would put Notre Dame at 2 losses. So Notre Dame would not be in there. Oh well, they're still there for some reason. So
I don't have Notre Dame in mind. You can read between the lines on that.
All right, Max.
I'm going. I got Texas 1, Oregon 2, Clemson 3, BYU 4. Only thing that changed is Ohio State's now 5. Miami is 6. Penn State is 7. I got Alabama at 8. I'm still holding on hope that maybe, we get this win this weekend. But then I got Georgia at 9. Still got Indiana in there at 10. They got a big game this weekend. We'll find out about Indiana. I still got Texas A&M at 11, and then I got Boise State at 12.
Okay, I like it. I like your number 4. So it is understanding that your strategy for them last week worked.
Yeah, they joked and soaked every night before the game, and
your weekly BYU.
You saw what happened.
So would you say that is a good pregame ritual?
I mean, it looks like it's working out for them.
Would you add anything else to it, or do you think they just keep it the same?
I say, don't fix what ain't broke.
It's hard to disagree with how their results are coming along. But my outside looking in really quickly, I said Boise State is not in it. That was more of me just saying Army because I knew everybody else would have Boise State, so I maybe want to try to change it up a little bit. Then I had Indiana and Tennessee on the outside, so they're kind of watching, and those could change with just Tennessee beat Bama, then I'll probably flip flop the 2, and then Indiana later this year. This week they have some big games too, so they just have to win some key games, and they'll slide in there for me. How about y'all? Anything that y'all want to add?
I don't even think I'm not saying we're doing a podcast, so of course we're going to discuss, but it's pretty clear to me that we've each got a certain amount of teams. It's just so early that we're trusting the process. Like I'm trusting LSU and Texas A&M. Max is trusting Alabama. You're trusting Notre Dame. I don't understand that, but my point is, it's just so early to tell. I think this segment will get a lot more interesting in about 2-3 weeks once we get some of these Tennessee, Alabama over, Georgia, Texas over. You're going to start just seeing teams actually, and it's taking a long time, but teams actually be eliminated because for the longest time, in the 4-team playoff, you could eliminate teams pretty quick, but with this 12, we have not. I like Max's Indiana pick, by the way. They're sneaky.
Signetti, that coach.
Yeah, he's a good coach. So I like Max's pick.
Smoking cigs. Signetti, there you go.
That's it for me, Max.
You have anything to?
Anyone? No, it's just. I think there's about 15 teams that consideration right now, and we just don't really know until a couple weeks. But we'll find out sooner or later.
Yeah, give it 4 more weeks, and we'll be able to really start narrowing in and identifying who's actual contenders, who's not. I will say, I think we have had a couple of teams that have already been officially eliminated, like USC. There was questions about it, but this past week we had one that I think you can pretty much shut the door on unless some miracle happens, and that's Ole Miss. I think they are officially. I think they're done. I don't really see a way to play in unless absolute miracle they kill everybody, kill Georgia. So
I actually think they are eliminated.
Yeah,
I don't think Georgia's, and this might be spoiling something I have later, but Georgia could have 3 losses. There's a very well, and then if that's their best win, because they're not they play Oklahoma I think they play Tech. They don't play Texas A&M. They don't have another big win they can get. There's going to be a bunch of teams at 10-2, a bunch of SEC teams at 10-2,
Exactly.
and they're going to be at the bottom of the pecking order on that. So yeah, I think they're eliminated.
I know this was one of the more popular takes in the beginning, or maybe it wasn't, but I heard it a lot, and I wish that we would have started our podcast a little bit earlier to start off this season, because this would have been mine, and it would have been that Georgia ends the season with at least 2 or 3 losses, just because their schedule sucks. Their schedule is hard. They have a bunch of difficult games, and based off the players that they lost, especially on offense, I mean, you can definitely tell there's something different. It's not the same team as last year. But I mean, that's all I have. Anybody else have anything? Are we ready to move on?
Ready, sir.
All right. So we're gonna go ahead and get into our picks. So let me go ahead and scroll down a little bit.
Do you want to tell the people what we're doing with NFL picks now?
Oh yeah, so we decided our last podcast was 2 hours long, and we were like,
way too long.
Yeah, too much. We didn't even get to include the last part of it because it was just too long. It wouldn't let us upload over 2 hours. So we're gonna have a separate NFL picks pod coming out this Thursday. So go ahead and get ready to tune in for that, and we will be dropping it. We'll record it Thursday and we'll drop it Friday. So just be prepared and on the lookout for that. But we're really gonna focus on mainly college football. And you'll see a little of the extra things that we add into this one. But we'll go ahead and get it started off. Taylor, I'm going to pass the first game to you, and it is Auburn at Missouri. Missouri favored 6.5, over under 51.5, and then Auburn money line is plus 210. How do you feel about this game?
So, nothing that Missouri did. By the way, Missouri playing at UMass. Somebody should be fired. Their AD should be fired. I don't know why they scheduled that game at UMass.
That was crazy.
You're an SEC school. Like, come on. Last week Alex made me run through my wins and losses, and I actually said the Kentucky game would be harder than the Missouri game, and nothing that Missouri's done. I don't know if that's true actually after watching, just because of how bad Kentucky's offense is. I'm going to take the safe pick and take Auburn to cover. I'm not going to touch the money line. I do like the money line though. I mean, that's a pretty good money line, but I'm just going to take Auburn plus. We have it at plus 6.5 or plus 7? Plus 6.5.
6.5.
Okay, it started at plus 7.5 when it first came out, so it's gone down a lot. Auburn plus 6.5.
Also, everyone, we're recording this on Monday, so lines are definitely going to be different, but this is where we're seeing it right now. So I'm just kind of letting you know. But yeah, I agree, Taylor. Actually, wait, I said I agree. I disagree. Personally, for me, I know Missouri went to Massachusetts last week, and they said that they went out and killed them. I think this is going to be them trying to take a stand about them being a good team or not. I think if they do want to have a chance in making the playoffs, they're going to have to start killing some teams. And I think one thing that they're going to do, and I hate doing this because last week this was me with Tennessee, this was me with Bama, saying they're going to have to make up for it. So I'm doing it again.
I love it.
I think Missouri covers. I'm not going to say they're going to kill y'all. I think Missouri covers. They could just win by 7. I think that's what's going to happen.
I love it. I think Auburn's winning now. Can I change my pick to money line since Alex picked against them? I'm just kidding. I'm not doing that for the record.
Max?
I'm gonna go Auburn cover. I could see Missouri winning close by 3 or something like that.
I really do think this line's going to go down to about 4.5 by the time game time kicks around. Back to you. Sorry, Max. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
You're good. I think Cook for Missouri is ass cheeks. I think he's a scrub. Yeah, that's what I think. I think he's a scrub.
I will say
not a scrub. He's not a scrub. I won't say he's a scrub. I don't think he is who people thought he was last year. Because last year he had a great defensive line. He was surrounded with talent, and this year he doesn't have that, and you see what's happening.
I will say Luther Burton, stop being a little crybaby when you don't get the ball. It's football. It's a team sport. There's 11 players on offense with you. You can't sit there and cry when you're not getting the ball. So if you want to be a team player and also not only want people to draft you, but just overall help your team, go out and block, and they'll get the ball to you when you can. You're a good receiver. They know you're a good receiver. They're trying to get you the ball. They're not coordinating the plan to not be around you. So instead of going and crying on the sideline on the drive when you don't get a pass thrown to you, how about you just be a man, tough it out, and yeah, don't cry.
He is going to
Sorry.
play this week though, because he was hurt. He got hurt at Missouri, at Massachusetts, and there was
Okay.
some debate. But he's going to play.
I'm sorry, that was me. I didn't get to say it last week about the A&M game, but I know he is being a little crybaby, so I had to throw that out there. Miami at Louisville, Max, +4 for Louisville, correct? Louisville's +4, Taylor?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I have to say. 61.5, the over under Louisville +155. What do you feel?
Give me Louisville money line. They're gonna beat Miami.
Ooh.
I like it.
Miami's been playing with fire. Louisville's gonna win.
Okay.
I could be dead wrong and look like a dumbass, but it's okay. I don't care.
Louisville has not looked good recently. Miami had a bye week last week, and I think they get some time to recover from those past 2 games. They kind of get things together, and I like Miami. I mean, I think they will win probably around 10. I wouldn't go. Something about these early games. It's really hard to. Is this an early game or is this? For some reason, I'm thinking it's 11 a.m. I don't know if it's 11 o'clock game, but something about this just tells me not to touch the over under. So I would just pick Miami covers, and yeah. Taylor?
Miami -4. They cover. I don't really have anything to add on that.
Cam Ward has a good game. He stops looking like an idiot. He probably has 250 plus passing yards, probably 3 touchdowns, maybe a pick here and there. No?
Nah, he's gonna throw 3 picks and Louisville's gonna win.
I mean, it could happen, judging with how he can do some things sometimes.
Miami's going to win 20, 28, 21, and all 3 of Louisville's touchdowns are going to be Cam Ward pick sixes. He's going to account for all touchdowns in the game.
All right. I mean, there we go. Clemson and Virginia. Virginia's at Clemson. Clemson's favored by 21.5. I'll go ahead and kick this one off. I had Clemson in a bet last week how they were going to cover, and they did. That was one of my sneakies. Clemson's been playing really good. I know Virginia is a good team. They have been a lot better this year. I believe they're 4-2. They have a good quarterback, but I think Clemson's kind of on fire right now. They kind of find what they wanted to be this year. They're a much different team than they were when they got killed by Georgia. So I like Clemson. Once again, another cover over 20. They cover 21.5. If I could buy a point, I'd get a point to 20.5. But I like Clemson. I think Cade Klubnik has been looking really good actually, and the updated he's actually moved up a lot on the Heisman boards. Actually, I wouldn't say go pick him. There's no way he's going to win it, but he has been moving up. He's been stacking up some stats recently. What do you think, Taylor?
I got Clemson covering as well, -21.5. I think they roll. The ACC's bad. There's only a couple teams that are even resent. Like I get what you're saying about Virginia, but I don't think this one's close. To be honest with you, they roll.
Max.
Since y'all both pick Clemson, it makes me want to go Virginia, but
you're keeping track of your picks every week. Go with what you think.
I think Virginia could cover. I mean, I'm gonna go Clemson. Clemson cover.
Clemson cover. So we're squad riding Clemson cover 21.5. I mean, I think I like it. I mean, Clemson's been looking really good. So, and Virginia, who they play last week? Does anybody remember?
I don't off the top of my head, but I can pull it up for you real quick.
I believe it was because I know it was in our pick. It was in our picks last week. I can't remember. Tell me who it was.
They lost to Louisville by 4.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yep. Maybe coming off a loss, they try to play better, but yeah. So we'll go to Taylor for this one to start it off.
Aaron Rodgers just threw a Hail Mary touchdown at halftime.
Who caught it?
I don't know. I missed it.
Lazard caught it because of course
Lazard did.
Yeah, Lazard caught it.
Wow. Aaron Rodgers has done that so much.
Why is he the GOAT at doing that?
Max, did you take Virginia to cover? I'm sorry.
No, Clemson cover.
Okay. We're riding with that one. Sorry, Alex. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Aaron Rodgers is just known for being able to throw a good Hail Mary. That's pretty
he kind of knocked the ball out when he was on the ground.
But... I'm not even watching it right now.
Oh, no, he had it, and then they knocked it out. He definitely had it.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They should give it to Garrett Wilson.
Anyway, sorry. Nebraska at 16 Indiana. Max, you have been part of the Indiana squad recently. So what do you think?
That's it.
So, okay, Indiana just covers like 5.5, yeah?
Yep.
All right, Taylor?
They cover, they win. The porn Huskers don't win.
I'm going Nebraska to cover. The 5.5. I think Nebraska covers. I almost took Nebraska money line. This has like the ingredients of like, this is Indiana's test to show that they're for real, and they're still Indiana in the end.
So you've been on Corn Hub.
Yep, Corn Hub. I'll take Nebraska plus 5.5. Kind of bitched out of that, but whatever. I almost took a money line, but I'm not going to.
Something about this game. I know that Indiana has been really good. I like Signetti. Nebraska has Raiola, right? The Patrick Mahomes wannabe. I don't know if y'all seen that, but Max, you should look it up. It's pretty funny. The Nebraska freshman quarterback copies every single one of like Mahomes pregame.
I've seen, yeah.
People ask him if you like Patrick Mahomes. He's basically like, "Oh no, I don't.
Like, nah.
Don't even know the guy."
Don't know what you're talking about.
no, never even seen him. You know what, Taylor? I'll go up here. Give me Nebraska to win.
So Nebraska money on.
Yeah, I'll take Nebraska.
Big balls, like Alex. Big balls, Alex Wells.
I like it. We're gonna skip the one next up on the list, and we'll go to LSU at Arkansas. I'll go ahead and do this one. Started off. LSU's favored by just 2.5, 57.5. Money line Arkansas plus 115. Scary game. Arkansas just did it to Tennessee. I don't like the odds of them doing it back to back. So give me LSU to win. I mean, money line.
LSU money line.
Sorry, cover. There we go. LSU covers. Quarterback's been looking good. They had a big win. I think they do go up there. It's going to be a close game. It definitely will be, but I think they can win. They get their cover of 3 points. Max?
Folks, I think he's trying to call
That's
the Hogs.
That's a pig right there. That's a hog. I was calling the Hogs. Hogs money line.
Ooh.
That's it.
Max,
okay.
Was
that a good pig hog noise, or did you not know what was going on?
I thought you were jerking off.
Well, I was.
Goodness. You're on the same boat, Taylor?
Let's fucking ride, Max. Arkansas money line. Off a bye week. LSU, that emotional win against Ole Miss on the road in Arkansas. Night game, I believe. Give me Woo Pig Suey. The way they call the Hogs is stupid, so I'm not gonna actually do it. I mean, it sounds like a 6th grader created that chant. But give me the Arkansas money line.
I tried it. I think I was waiting for Alex's reaction, but he didn't really give me a good one. So
I don't think Alex knew what you were doing.
I didn't know what was happening.
Well, if I would have done it good enough, you would have known.
Yeah, I mean, I know Max has always liked a good hog before. He's a big hog guy. So
a jelker, and he loves a good hog.
I mean, that's his name brand.
The hog's a joke.
And they might. I mean,
the Hogs are joking this weekend. They're beating LSU.
So I think if they end up winning, then we'll just have to pick a team that's going to joke that week. They'll just automatically win the game.
Joke team of the week.
The Jelk boys.
Yeah. Kansas State at West Virginia. Taylor, give me what you think.
What is the line on this, Alex? I'm sorry.
+3 for Kansas State. And it is 54.5 and West Virginia +120.
You know what? I disrespected Kansas State last week, and that's another one. I said they couldn't win on the road. Give me Kansas with the Kansas State +3.
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna have more faith. We don't have the money line listed. I'll get it. Give me Kansas State money line.
Max.
Kansas State money line, West Virginia. I guess the opioid epidemic has affected their football team as well. Give me Kansas State money line.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. The opioid epidemic has
Bro's been talking to Tyler too much.
Killed the West Virginia team, and
Kansas The Mountaineers State are on pills, son.
They're drinking that aristocrat.
I do think Kansas State will cover the 3. I do like the over this game. One thing I heard Taylor say is that they didn't give Kansas State respect. Personally, the Colorado game last week, Colorado has Travis Hunter get injured, and I think if he stays on the field, they probably win the game.
They win.
Don't like it, but whatever.
Maybe he shouldn't have got hurt then. That's all on him. Maybe he should think about his team next time.
Stop being a little bitch.
You heard that, Travis Hunter.
I'm just kidding. Travis, you're the GOAT. Don't beat me up.
Notre Dame at Georgia Tech. I will start this one off. I like this one a lot. I like this game. It'll be really scary. I like Notre Dame to cover. And one thing that I have liked a lot this season is Haynes King or Jamal Haynes touchdown in any game given. I will still go with it. I would still put either one of them and feel pretty comfortable for that as just a pick to add in. It hits pretty consistently for one of them. But I like Notre Dame. This is their first real hard team that they played since probably A&M.
Since Northern Illinois.
Excuse me, they played Louisville, didn't they? And they beat them.
Notre Dame, yes, they did.
Yeah. Georgia Tech's a good team. They're a really good team. This could be sneaky, especially at Georgia Tech. So I personally would stay away from it, but I think Notre Dame. Actually, I changed my mind. Notre Dame wins, but Georgia Tech covers. That's what I got.
Okay. Give me Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech covers. They win. The Haynes and Haynes brothers score a couple touchdowns. Notre Dame can't throw the football. They're not throw it. Not South Carolina. They can throw it on Alabama, but on
did you say Georgia Tech covers?
They can't throw it, but yeah. Did I cut out for a second?
You did. That's why I asked.
My internet said it was unstable. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Give me Georgia Tech to cover.
All right, Taylor.
So this is one of my sneaks. I got Georgia Tech money line.
Okay. I mean, I'm personally, I don't want to touch the game, but I like it. I mean, Georgia Tech's a really good team, so
I like the money line. It's +270.
Yep, that is good. If you were to hit that. Here's a fun one: 24 Michigan at Illinois. Illinois is favored by 1. The over/under is 43.5, and the money line's even. So, Max, go first. Who do you have, Michigan or Illinois?
I think I'm gonna go with Illinois. Cover. I like their quarterback better. Michigan probably has a little bit better, offensive defensive line. They're both similar teams. They're run heavy teams, kind of old school, but I trust Illinois' quarterback better. What's his name? Brockmeyer? Is that his name? I can't remember if that's it. He has some weird name.
Are you talking about Illinois' quarterback? He came from Ole Miss. I can't remember his name though. Altmaier. Luke Altmaier.
Altmaier. Okay,
Luke
yeah,
Altmaier.
Altmaier, not Brockmaier. Altmaier. Yeah.
Altmaier.
He's been pretty good this year. Give me Illinois to cover.
Taylor?
I got Michigan +1. But you know what? Actually, because that's weak. What's the money line on this? If I'm gonna do plus,
money line's even right now.
Just give me +1 then. That's why I did it. I was actually looking at myself saying that's weak, but it's even. So give me Michigan +1.
Yeah, personally for me, I mean, pick Michigan to do good against Washington, and they just did not do good. They looked horrible, and I already knew that quarterback was bad, but some reason I had hope. And you know what? I'm not gonna buy into that anymore. I think Michigan for this year, they'll be good to cut like next year, but this year they're just washed. They're not gonna be good. They're probably gonna lose 2 or 3 more games, and I think this is one of them. They already have an automatic loss to Ohio State. There's no reason we even get to that game to pick it because Ohio State is going to win. Give me Illinois. They cover. I, like Max said, trust the quarterback. It's hard not to trust their quarterback more than Michigan's because it doesn't really matter who they throw out their quarterback. You know they're going to suck. I think, honestly, Max could go out there and do just as well. I think Taylor could go out there and do just as well. I think I could go out there and do just as well. So give me Illinois. Now we'll go into the 2 bigger games this week. We'll start off with Georgia at Texas. Taylor, I want you to give us some thoughts.
It's my lock of the week. Texas covers 2.5. I actually think they win by 10. But I mean, we're not doing it specific like that. But I think Texas shows they're the best team in the country this week. And Georgia shows they're going to lose again. Is that Texas? This is their biggest game of the season so far, Texas. Just like crowd-wise, it's going to be electric. I think Carson Beck, I think Georgia has that moment they did against Alabama where they just, it might look similar in the first half. Like maybe not as bad, like 28-0, but they get shell shocked. And Texas, Quinn Ewers, man, he's going to play good. And I got Texas with the -2.5. But I'm excited to watch it. I'm excited. It's a good slate. Like I get to watch Auburn first, and then Tennessee, Alabama, which we'll get into, in Georgia, Texas. That's a good Saturday. But give me Texas. Hook 'em. No horns down this week. Hook 'em -2.5.
So these next 2 games have been really hard for me to think about. I've gone back and forth specifically with Georgia at Texas. For some reason, I don't think Georgia is done, and I also don't think Texas has been challenged yet. I know they played Michigan at Michigan, but like I just talked about, watching Michigan play is like watching not grass grow, but like
watching shit dry.
Like, yeah, watching a fly swarm around shit. Like, it has not been good. Watching, I don't know. It's just not been fun. So personally, I think this is actually Texas' first test. I think I mean, they played Clemson, they played Alabama. They're gonna be used to seeing this speed. I know Quinn Ewers is tested. He's a great quarterback. Give me Georgia. I think Georgia officially knocks out the last undefeated SEC team. And I think this is what starts to get the SEC to start having a little bit of fun because everybody's going to kind of be in it. It's going to be fun. I think the key to the game is, will Georgia be able to throw the ball? If they can throw the ball, open up that Texas defense some, they'll be good. And then also defensively, they can't allow Quinn Ewers time. They need to get pressure on him. Not too much pressure, though. If you get too much pressure and you injure him, then a better quarterback comes in. So don't do that. But get some pressure on him. Max?
It's 3.5. It's 3.5, not 2.5. If that changes anybody's thought process. Sorry.
I got Georgia outright.
I got Georgia to cover. Yes, Texas is very good. It'll be a close game, but like Alex said, I don't think Texas. Really, I think it comes down to Texas DBs. Can they cover? And if they can, then they'll win. If they can't, I think Georgia wins. And I think Georgia's going to win.
But you're just taking them to cover, right?
Yeah, just taking them to cover.
and Alex doing money line.
That's right. I like it. All right. I'll start this one off. Alabama at Tennessee. So the battle of which team has been playing worse recently. Like Max said earlier, I think both teams are walking in a little shaky, a little nervous. And ultimately, I think whoever this is gonna be the game that's gonna knock out the other person because that person will have the one-on-one against them, and it'll be a battle of who's gonna be able to get in since they have the head of the head. They'll probably get in because of this. Uh, Tennessee, I said they are Ole Miss basically. You look at them; they kill a lot of the bad teams, then they play close against the other teams, and they had the one win against whoever it was who they play, Oklahoma, and now we know that Oklahoma sucks. Alabama, on the other hand, Milroe, we beat Georgia, played awful against Vandy, played awful against South Carolina. I mean, it really just depends on who actually shows up. Both teams haven't shown up the past 2 games, so whoever can get out of the funk that they're in quicker, I think both teams eventually start playing really good this game. I think it'll just kick in and the instincts will go, and all these players on the ball are good. Key to the game for Bama, if we're going to win, I have Alabama winning. I have them covering. I have the under for this game though. But anyways, Alabama, we have to get the running backs involved. It can no longer just be Milroe. I love Milroe. I love a Milroe rushing touchdown every single game this year. It's pretty much a lock. But I think if we can get the run game opened up with our running backs, I mean, read options instead of just them biting down on Milroe. If we could start giving the ball and having some big runs, it's going to open up Milroe even more, and then it's ultimately going to open up that deep pass that we like to throw, and that's the key for us. Also, defensively, we have a lot to figure out, but I think if we can not allow big plays, and we do need some turnovers, so that's going to be us. But Taylor, go next, and Max, I'll let you close it off.
I went back and forth on this one. I really did. I can even show you the sheet. I mean, I think I changed it coming into it because I wrote mine out. But I almost took Tennessee money line because I like a money line that I can take on a home team. That's going to be a tough place to play. I started comparing them though. They're very similar, like Alex said. So they both have their bad loss. Which now I will say this: Bama's. Although I would say last week, Vandy's looks a lot better. So I actually will compare them. They both have that loss you don't think they should have. Like Tennessee shouldn't have lost to Arkansas on the road. Bama shouldn't have lost to Vandy on the road. And then they both came out this week and played very bad against teams they shouldn't have lost. They shouldn't have been close with, both of them at home. The difference to me is going to be, and I will say that Oklahoma game wasn't close. They played with their food. They knew that Oklahoma couldn't score. They kind of did the anti-Auburn. They're like, as long as we don't throw a pick six, we won't lose. So they probably could have scored more. But the difference is Bama's played Georgia. They've beaten Georgia. Tennessee just hadn't proven anything to me. So that being said, you can call it an emotional hedge if you want to. I'm going to take Bama money line. I think they beat Tennessee. This is a big game for either team because if Bama can't win this game, they're not beating LSU in my mind. Their season's over. If Tennessee can't win this game, they're not beating Georgia. I really do think this is a. Well, let me say this. I don't know about they're not beating Georgia, but they're not winning out. So this is a big game. I wouldn't call it an eliminator just yet because you can't eliminate them, but pretty big. Give me Bama money line. Go ahead, Max.
Bama money line as well. Because I'm a Bama fan, I don't feel good about it. I don't really feel great. I mean, if Tennessee wins, I wouldn't surprise me one bit. But we'll just go Bama. Because roll Tide.
Especially with how Bama's been playing recently, like if either one's not going to surprise me. Yeah, I agree. We do have actually one more game to go over right now, and this is a little special game. Max, I'm going to go to you first. Florida State at Duke. What will you do if Florida State loses, Max?
Oh my gosh, man! I'll get a foot-long Subway sandwich and put, cat litter and eat it with tuna fish.
All right.
I don't know. That's what I made up this week.
Oh God.
Oh
Taylor.
fuck! We can't really do these things, can we? Though.
No, we're not.
I'd take the cat litter off and I'll just eat tuna fish sandwich or something.
Actually, if Florida State does lose, then you have to do it, or you're off the podcast.
You're off.
Yeah. Taylor, what will you do if Florida State loses this week at Duke?
I'll jelk.
You're gonna do that anyway.
I need it.
I think no matter what.
What will you do if?
Yeah, what are you gonna do, bitch boy?
I will donate to Kamala Harris and post the Kamala Harris video supporting her.
You were gonna do that anyway, you liberal.
Yeah, guys. So we're gonna go into some sneaky picks this week. I think we all got a couple of them. Who wants to start it off?
I'll go first. My sneaky pick is Duke. Is that right?
It's Duke. Yeah. You picked Duke, I believe.
Yeah, Duke -3, right? Hold on. Yeah, Duke -3 over FSU. So my sneaky pick better hit, or I'm eating a Subway shit sandwich.
I mean, you don't want it to hit.
Yeah, you don't want it to hit. You put yourself into a corner here, buddy.
No, I want it
to
hit. Okay, Taylor, give us one.
My sneaky, we talked about it earlier, so sorry guys, but my sneaky is Georgia Tech money line against Notre Dame.
Okay, I'll go into
and I also, if you want me to give you two, you know what, to mix it up, and Alex is looking, don't give me that dumbass look, first of all. Since we already picked this, and since we already picked the Georgia Tech game, what I'll do this week is I'll do Iowa -6.5. I think they blow out Michigan State. I think that's a good line. Tyler Hill won't like that because he's a big Iowa State guy. But it's okay.
That's true. I have for one of mine is Rutgers covers 6.5 versus UCLA. Last week they got killed by Wisconsin. Shout out to Max. Max knew that was happening. Nice. I think this is one of those games. Why do I do this every single week? They have a bad game, so they come back and they need to play good. So that's what I have for it. My other one that I have is South Florida covers versus UAB. It's only at 14.
Oof.
Like UAB has been horrible this year, so South Florida covers easy. Anybody else have another one that they want to put in?
I mean, I'll leave my Georgia Tech Notre Dame one in there.
Okay. Max, you have another one?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
So now we're going to get into our special little section right here. So we have decided that we are going to call one of our random friends, and this is called the Ball Knower of the Week. We're going to call someone random, and if they answer, we're going to ask them what they think about a certain game and if they are a ball knower or not. So, Max, I believe you are going to be making this call.
Yes. What is the question?
So, we had it somewhere written down. Where is it at?
Oh, damn it.
I haven't seen the question.
Damn it. Did y'all delete it?
Let's see. We'll ask them what they think about Georgia and Texas, and then Alabama, Tennessee. We'll get their thoughts on it. Who's going to win?
All right, we're calling our buddy Charlie. He's a communist. He does not give a fuck about sport. He hates sports.
He's a big Kamala Harris. He supports Kamala Harris.
He may not answer the phone. That would be very sad.
If you don't answer, you lose.
Oh my goodness, here he is, Charlie Coburn himself. Hey, dude. We got a question we need to ask you.
You are being recorded, Charlie. Just saying.
I just want to let you know you're being recorded right now, or you're on the Weekends Over podcast. So what are your thoughts about Alabama at Tennessee this weekend?
I think both teams had a really good time. For you, that college guys out there generating all sorts of revenue.
Well, the game hasn't happened yet, so I was asking about this weekend. That is true though. All right, man.
And Alabama's definitely no company.
Okay, cool.
Okay, Charlie.
All right, man. You're a real ball knower. Appreciate that. All right, man. See you later. Bye. Oh, he hung up before. He didn't even say bye. Okay, well, there you have it. He helped both teams do well. I don't really remember what he said. He said something about
Revenue.
revenue, and
Charlie's not a big NIL guy. He
I
doesn't
think
he doesn't think they should be getting paid.
he thought the game had already happened, so that was an issue from the start. But
I think that's what most ball knowers typically have. They usually think it's already happened.
Y'all tune in next week, because next week we're calling Pizza Hut. We're gonna figure out what they know.
Yeah, we really are.
If they know ball or if they know pizza.
Yeah.
So, lastly, we are gonna cover a lot of sports. A lot of sports. No, yeah, duh. Covered a lot of football. We're gonna talk about basketball. Yeah, basketball a little bit, just to end it off. The AP Top 25 poll just got released for the college basketball season.
Number 2.
Alabama finds itself at number 2 behind Kansas.
Where's Auburn at?
11. Stupid as shit.
That's okay.
Taylor, you have
These rankings don't mean shit.
Yeah, it really doesn't mean too much. Taylor, tell us what you think.
It just means Alabama's better than Auburn.
The top, just real quick, the top, and I'll add Auburn because we're not cool enough to be in the top 10. The top 10 is Kansas, Alabama, UConn, Houston, Iowa State, Gonzaga, Duke, Baylor, North Carolina. Don't get me started on that. Arizona, and then Auburn. Tennessee just behind Auburn. Texas A&M just behind Tennessee. A bunch of SEC teams in the top 20. Kentucky all the way down at 23. Barely ahead of Ole Miss in the top 25. It's what Max said. Now Kim Pom favors Auburn over Alabama this year. Kim Pom has Auburn at 3, Alabama at 4, and that's actually not opinion based. It's computer stats analytics.
Oh, from what games this year?
Oh yeah, Taylor, tell me what a computer knows about basketball. Has it ever played basketball?
No games have been played this year. How can you have fucking stats rankings when no games have been played?
Kim Pom always comes out with his stats. I do agree.
I'll punch Kim Pom right in his face.
All right, we're gonna send that to Kim Pom. I do agree that after it does take a few games to get it kicked in, but Kim Pom is very high on Auburn and Alabama. The media is very high on Auburn and Alabama. They were both picked to finish. Bama was picked to win the SEC. I think this is the first time Alabama's ever been picked by the media to win the SEC, and Auburn's never been picked to finish second. So this is the first time they're 1 and 2. Janai Broome, Mark Sears are both first team All-American, All SECs. I think, and Mark Sears was unanimous preseason player of the year. I don't understand how it's unanimous. I think I could understand why he would be voted over Janai Broome, but I don't understand how that's unanimous.
Because he's way better.
Yeah, pretty simple.
And Alabama has Big Cliff, who's now Broome's daddy. So
Cliff would be our third big.
Nah.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, he would. He would be our third center.
No. Broome supports Moss.
Auburn is just lucky that Harvard is not in.
It's Yale, you dumb fuck.
Yeah, Yale, dumbass.
You
what the
stupid
hell?
fuck. Alex Wells.
Yale's better at basketball.
Yale's obviously better at basketball.
Better than Auburn.
True.
You know what?
Vandy's our daddy.
Vandy. So
you know who is Auburn's daddy is Kyle Guy. How do you feel about this, Taylor?
I don't think I can say my thoughts. We'd be kicked off the pod.
Was there a double dribble?
Taylor.
There was a double dribble. I guess you could argue we did intentionally foul before the double dribble. Virginia got lucky as hell. Let's not
talk about this game from 10 years ago that nobody cares about anymore.
It's my favorite thing to bring up to him. He gets so mad about it. Like, I don't know. Y'all
fucking
don't know Taylor.
Kyle Guy.
Y'all don't know Taylor like we do, but I can see it and hear it, and I know he is actually butthurt. Anyways, so that's it. We're gonna do our locks of the week. I will go ahead and reiterate NFL
Friday.
Yes.
We'll be out.
That's right. So
Max is gonna do his prize picks on that day.
I'll do my prize picks Friday because
we're recording on Monday.
They changed a lot before.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had Flowers at 51.5 yards over, and by the time it was Friday, it changed to 58. But it didn't matter; he still hit. But so we'll do that Friday.
Yeah. Okay. Also, I mean, he's gonna do 2 of them. He's gonna do a NFL and a college football one. Those will be out Friday, though, like he said. Let's get into our locks of the week. Does anybody want to go first?
I'll go ahead and get mine out because it's boring, and y'all know mine. It's Texas -3.5 lock for me. Normally I like to do money lines, but I thought that was chickening out if I took Texas money line in this sense because I don't think it's even close. I think Texas rolls 3.5. My lock of the week. Maybe I'll remember it this time and not say the wrong thing like I did earlier in the podcast. Sorry about that.
Mm-hmm. Trying to tell me that you had the same as me, liar.
It was written down like that. It's my fault. My lock missed his covered. Sorry, guys.
Okay, Max.
Give me James Madison to cover over Georgia Southern at -10. Georgia Southern. Who cares? Who's that? James Madison. They're gonna win by 10, by 20, by 30. I don't know. Maybe they won't. Maybe they will.
At least they're not playing Georgia State because
if they were playing Georgia State's way better.
Georgia State's better than Vandy, and Vandy's y'all's daddy. So I mean,
Georgia State's our granddaddy.
It's your granddaddy.
My lock of the week is Army covering against East Carolina. They'll cover 15.5 points. One thing I like to say is Bryson Daly, Army's QB, is raw. Very good. He's been playing good the whole year. I think them having the quarterback as a passer is such a big dimension for them.
I got a question for you. He is very good on the football field, directing and being a leader. How do you think he'll do on the battlefield in Ukraine?
He is very good at throwing long bombs. So
grenade thrower.
Yes, in the back.
Okay. Cool.
You got to make sure you don't hold on to the ball too long or the grenade. So I think he'd be very good at that. So okay, I would take.
Make sure.
I would take Ukraine plus 3.5 over Russia currently. I don't know what the odds are. Taylor, can you look those up?
I can, but who should I start in my fantasy war draft?
Fantasy war draft. Everybody name off one person. I have Braveheart. Number 1 pick. Max?
Ray Lewis for me.
Ray Lewis is your number 1 pick for your war draft?
Yeah.
He is a killer.
Oh my goodness. I think I'm going to go Joseph Stalin as my head coach.
Taylor, I know your GOAT pick.
Alex is trying to get me canceled. He's a great leader.
He is talking about Joe Biden currently. That's who
Joe Biden is actually my number 1 pick. And he's leading me in the battle. He's actually going to cover me while
He's just like Joe Pa, Penn State.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That is the end of our podcast. Everybody, please like and subscribe. Tune in Friday for our
Weekend's over.
The weekend's over, and so is the podcast. We will see y'all next.